Dr. Mincio sat in her dark office, staring at her computer screen. The only light came from the screen and the small lamp on her desk. She had been working for hours, looking at data from space. Suddenly, she saw something strange, a pattern in the data that didn't look normal. "This can't be right," she said to herself. She rubbed her eyes and looked again. The pattern was still there. Mincio picked up her phone and called her boss. "Sir, I think I found something. You need to see this." An hour later, the head of the space agency was in Mincio's office. He looked at the data and his eyes got big. "Is this what I think it is?" he asked. Mincio nodded. "Yes, sir. I think it's a signal from aliens." The news spread fast. Soon, the whole world knew. Aliens were real, and they were trying to talk to us. The world's leaders met to decide what to do. They chose Captain Ji-hun to lead the first mission to meet the aliens. Ji-hun was brave and smart. He had been a soldier and knew how to talk to all kinds of people. Ji-hun and his team trained for months. They learned how to use special suits for space. They practiced what to say when they met the aliens. Everyone on Earth was excited and scared. Finally, the day came. Ji-hun and his team got on their spaceship. It was the best ship humans had ever made. As they flew into space, Ji-hun thought about how important this was. He was going to be the first human to meet aliens. After a long trip, they saw the alien ship. It was huge and shiny. Ji-hun's ship looked small next to it. The aliens let them come inside their ship. Ji-hun and his team walked into a big room. The aliens were there waiting. They looked very different from humans. They were tall and had blue skin. Their eyes were big, and they had long fingers. The alien leader stepped forward. "I am Xylo," it said in a deep voice. "We are the Zarkons. We have been watching your planet." Ji-hun bowed his head a little. "I am Captain Ji-hun. We come in peace from planet Earth. We are happy to meet you." Xylo looked at the humans. It didn't look very impressed. "Your species is very young," Xylo said. "We have been traveling in space for thousands of years. What can you offer us?" Ji-hun was surprised. He thought the aliens would be friendlier. "We may be young," he said, "but we have learned a lot. We want to share knowledge with you." Xylo made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Knowledge? What could you know that we don't already?" Ji-hun tried to stay calm. He knew this meeting was very important. "Every species has something to teach," he said. "We have art, music, and ideas that you've never seen before." "Art and music," Xylo said. "We came here for science and technology. Show us something useful." Ji-hun's team looked at each other. They didn't expect the aliens to be so rude. Ji-hun decided to try something else. "We have made big steps in medicine," he said. "We can cure many diseases. Maybe we could help each other." Xylo seemed a little interested. "Medicine? Well, that might be worth something. But don't think you're special. We've met many species. Most of them don't last long." Ji-hun didn't like how Xylo was talking. It sounded like a threat. "What do you mean, they don't last long?" he asked. Xylo's eyes got narrow. "The universe is a dangerous place. Small, weak species often disappear." Now Ji-hun was worried. He looked at his team. They all felt the same way. This meeting was not going well. "We may be small," Ji-hun said, "but we are not weak. We have survived many hard times on our planet. We will survive in space too." Xylo stepped closer to Ji-hun. The alien was much taller than him. "Be careful, little human," Xylo said. "You don't want to make us angry." Ji-hun stood up straight. He wasn't going to let Xylo scare him. "We don't want to make you angry," he said, "but we won't let you bully us either. We came here as friends. If you don't want to be friends, we will leave." The room got very quiet. The other aliens looked at Xylo. They seemed surprised that Ji-hun stood up to their leader. Xylo was quiet for a long time. Then it said, "You are braver than I thought. Or maybe just stupider. Go back to your ship. We will talk again soon. Jae-hun and his team left the alien ship. As they flew home, they were quiet. They knew something big had happened. The first meeting with aliens did not go well. Earth might be in danger. As they got closer to Earth, Jae-hun made a call to the leaders back home. "We have a problem," he said. "The aliens are not friendly. We need to get ready. I think there might be trouble coming." The news of the unfriendly aliens spread fast on Earth. People were scared. Leaders from all countries met to talk about what to do. They decided to get ready for the worst. Captain Jae-hun told everyone about the Zarkons. "They think we are weak," he said, "but we can show them we are strong." Dr. Min Seo, the scientist who found the alien signal, had an idea. "We need to watch the aliens closely," she said. "Let's send up a new satellite." The world's best engineers worked day and night. They built a special satellite that could see the Zarkon ships. After a week, they sent it into space. At first, everything seemed okay. The satellite sent back clear pictures of the alien ships, but then something went wrong. Su-yeon, one of the engineers watching the satellite, saw a bright flash on her screen. "Oh no," she said, "the aliens destroyed our satellite." The Zarkons sent a message to Earth. Xilo's face appeared on screens all over the world. "Humans," it said, "this is a warning. Do not try to spy on us. We are more powerful than you can imagine." People were angry and scared. Some wanted to fight back. Others wanted to hide. The world's leaders didn't know what to do. Then Dr. Min Seo had another idea. She called Su-yeon, and they worked together all night. In the morning, they went to see the president. "We have a plan," Min Seo said. "We can use Earth's magnetic field to protect us from the aliens." The president looked confused. "How can a magnetic field stop alien weapons?" he asked. Su-yeon explained. "We can make the magnetic field stronger. It will mess up the aliens' computers and weapons." The president thought for a moment. "Okay," he said. "Do it, but be careful." Min Seo and Su-yeon got to work. They used big machines all over the world to make Earth's magnetic field stronger. It was hard work, but they didn't give up. Meanwhile, the Zarkons were getting ready to attack. They thought it would be easy to beat the humans. Silo told his soldiers, "These humans are no match for us. We will show them real power." The Zarkon ships came close to Earth. They were about to fire their weapons. But then something strange happened. On the Zarkon ships, computers started to break. Weapons wouldn't work. Silo was angry. "What's happening?" it yelled. "Why aren't our weapons working?" Back on Earth, Min Seo and Su-yeon watched their screens. "It's working," Su-yeon said. "The magnetic field is protecting us." The president called Captain Jae-hun. "It's time," he said. "Show the aliens what humans can do." Jae-hun got in his spaceship. Other pilots followed him. They flew up to meet the Zarkon ships. The aliens couldn't use their big weapons, but the human ships could still fight. It was a tough battle. The Zarkons were surprised that the humans could fight so well. Jae-hun led his team bravely. They damaged many alien ships. After a few hours, the Zarkons started to leave. They were confused and scared. How could these little humans beat them? Silo was very angry. It sent another message to Earth. "This isn't over," it said. "You were lucky this time, but we will be back." On Earth, people cheered. They were happy and proud. Humans had stood up to the aliens and won. The president thanked Min Seo and Su-yeon. "You saved us," he said. "Your smart thinking protected Earth." But Min Seo was still worried. "The Zarkons will try again," she said. "We need to be ready." The president nodded. "You're right," he said. "This is just the beginning. We need to learn more about space and how to protect ourselves." That night, as the world celebrated, Captain Jae-hun looked up at the stars. He knew that Earth was now part of something bigger. Humans had shown they were strong. but there was still a lot to do. "We're not weak," Jai-hun said to himself. "And soon, the whole universe will know it." A month after the big fight with the Zarkons, things were quiet. But Earth was getting ready. People all over the world were working hard to learn more about space and the aliens. Dr. Yunji was a smart scientist who knew a lot about living things. She led a team to study the pieces of Zarkon ships that fell to Earth. "If we can learn how they live," she said, "we can find ways to talk to them better." One day, Yunji and her team were on a ship in space. They were looking at a broken Zarkon ship. Suddenly, a big alien ship appeared. Before anyone could do anything, the aliens took Yunji and her team. On Earth, everyone was worried. Captain Jai-hun wanted to go save them, but the leaders said no. "It's too dangerous." They told him, "We need to be smart about this." On the alien ship, Yunji and her team were locked in a room. The Zarkons didn't know that one of the team members was special. His name was Ta-won, and he used to be a soldier. Tai-won looked around the room. He saw things the aliens thought were useless, but he had an idea. "We can use these to escape," he whispered to the others. Yunji was surprised. "How?" she asked. Tai-won smiled and started to explain his plan. While this was happening, a young Zarkon named Vex was watching the humans. Vex was curious about these strange creatures. It saw Tai-won talking and wondered what he was saying. Tai-won used the things in the room to make simple tools. He showed the others how to use them. "We'll wait until night," he said. "Then we'll try to get out." That night, when the ship was quiet, Tai-won used his homemade tools to open the door. The team snuck out into the hallway. They were scared but excited. Vex saw them leave on a screen, but instead of telling the other Zarkons, it watched to see what the humans would do. Yunji led the team through the ship. She remembered the way from when they were brought in. They had to hide many times when Zarkons walked by. At one point, they got to a locked door. It needed a Zarkon hand to open. Tai-won looked at it and had another idea. He used parts from the room to make a fake hand. It worked. Vex was amazed. It had never seen anyone think so quickly or use simple things in such smart ways. The humans found a small ship they could use to escape, but there was a problem. They didn't know how to fly it. Yunji looked at the controls. "I think I can figure this out," she said. "It's not too different from the ships we've studied." As they were about to leave, an alarm went off. The other Zarkons knew they had escaped. Tai-won said, "Hurry. We need to go now." Yunji worked fast. She pressed buttons and pulled levers. The ship started to move. They flew out of the big Zarkon ship just as other aliens were running to stop them. Vex watched them leave. It thought about telling the leaders, but decided not to. These humans were too interesting. The small ship flew towards Earth. Yunji was scared but excited. "We did it," she said. "We escaped." When they got back to Earth, everyone was happy and surprised. The leaders asked how they escaped. Yunji told them about To-won's clever ideas and how they worked together. Captain Ji-hun was proud of the team. "You showed the aliens what humans can do," he said. "We are stronger than they think." The leaders talked about what happened. They realized that humans had something special. "It's not just our tools or weapons," one said. "It's how we think and work together." Yunji nodded. "The aliens might have better ships," she said, "but we can think in ways they don't expect. That's our strength." As the team rested, Yunji thought about what they learned. "We need to be ready," she said to herself. "The Zarkons will come back, but now we know we can surprise them." Far away on the Zarkon ship, Vex was thinking too. It realized that humans were not simple creatures. They were clever and brave. For the first time, Vex wondered if the Zarkons had made a big mistake in fighting the humans. After Yunji and her team escaped from the Zarkons, Earth knew a big fight was coming. General Sang-hoon, the top soldier on Earth, called a meeting with all the best military minds. "We need a plan," Sang-hoon said. "The Zarkons will attack soon. They have better ships and weapons, but we have something they don't expect." Captain Ji-hun, who was at the meeting, asked, "What's that, sir?" Sang-hoon smiled. "Our creativity, our ability to think differently. We'll use that to win." For days, they worked on a plan. It was not like any battle plan before. It used ideas from games, from nature, and from human history. While Earth got ready, the Zarkons were angry. Xylo, their leader, yelled at his soldiers, "How did those little humans escape? We must crush them now." But Vex, the young Zarkon who watched the humans escape, spoke up. "Maybe we should be careful. The humans are clever." Xylo laughed. "Clever? They're nothing compared to us. Get ready for battle." Back on Earth, Sang-hoon explained the plan to the world's leaders. Some thought it was crazy. Others thought it was brilliant, but everyone agreed to try it. The day of the battle came. Zarkon ships filled the sky. There were hundreds of them. On Earth, people were scared but ready. Sang-hoon turned to Ji-hun. "It's time. You know what to do." Ji-hun nodded and got into his ship. He led a small group of the best pilots Earth had. They flew up to meet the Zarkons. The Zarkons laughed when they saw how few ships Earth sent. "This will be easy," Xylo said. But then strange things started to happen. The human ships didn't fight like the Zarkons expected. They moved in weird patterns, like a dance. Yoo-jin, the best pilot in Ji-hun's team, flew her ship in loops and spirals. The Zarkons couldn't hit her. She led them on a wild chase. While the Zarkons were confused, other parts of Earth's plan started to work. Small robots that looked like space junk attached to the Zarkon ships. They started to mess up the aliens' computers. On the ground, Sudion and Min-seo worked together again. They used Earth's magnetic field in a new way. It made some Zarkon ships crash into each other. The Zarkons didn't know what was happening. Their powerful weapons didn't work right. Their ships weren't listening to their controls. Ji-hun's voice came over the radio. "Now, Yoo-jin, go for their main ship." Yoo-jin flew straight at the biggest Zarkon ship. It was where Xylo was. The Zarkons tried to stop her, but she was too fast and tricky. At the last second, Yoo-jin dropped a special bomb. It didn't explode. Instead, it covered Xylo's ship in a strange foam. The foam hardened quickly, stopping the ship from moving or fighting. Xylo was trapped. It couldn't believe what was happening. How are they beating us?" Vex watched all this with big eyes. "I tried to tell you," it said quietly. "The humans are full of surprises." The battle wasn't over, but things had changed. Many Zarkon ships were leaving. They were too confused and scared to keep fighting. On Earth, people cheered as they watched on screens. Sang-hoon smiled. "It's working," he said. "We're winning." Ji-hun's voice came over the radio again. "General, the Zarkons are retreating. What should we do?" Sang-hoon thought for a moment. "Let them go," he said. "They've learned their lesson." As the Zarkon ships left, Yoo-jin flew close to Xylo's trapped ship. She sent a message. "This is Earth. We don't want to fight. But if you come back, we'll be ready." Later, as the pilots landed, people ran to cheer for them. Ji-hun hugged Yoo-jin. "You did it. You were amazing up there." Yoo-jin smiled. "We all did it. It was everybody's ideas that made this work." Sang-hoon walked up to them. "You're right," he said. "This victory belongs to all humans. Our strength is in working together and thinking in new ways." As night fell, people on Earth celebrated. They knew the Zarkons might come back one day. But now, they also knew that humans could stand up to anyone in the universe. Far away, in the Zarkon ships, Xylo was quiet. For the first time, it felt afraid of humans. Vex looked at the stars and wondered what would happen next. The universe had changed. Humans had shown they were a force to be reckoned with. And this was just the beginning. News of the human victory over the Zarkons spread fast across the galaxy. Many alien races were surprised. How could a young species from a small planet beat the powerful Zarkons? On Earth, things were changing quickly. People from all countries worked together to build better spaceships. They wanted to explore the galaxy and meet other aliens. The world leaders chose Ambassador Hyjin to speak for Earth. She was smart and good at talking to different kinds of people. Her job was to tell other aliens about humans and make friends. One day, Hyjin got an important message. The Galactic Council, a group of the oldest and strongest alien races, wanted to meet her. They had questions about the fight with the Zarkons. Hyjin was nervous but excited. She got on Earth's best spaceship with Captain Ji-hun and Dr. Min-seo. They flew far into space, farther than any human had gone before. When they reached the Galactic Council, Hyjin was amazed. There were aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some looked like giant plants. Others were made of light. It was like nothing she had ever seen. The leader of the council was a tall, wise-looking alien named Zorn. It looked at Hyjin with all 7 of its eyes. "Human," it said, "tell us how your young species defeated the Zarkons." Hyjin took a deep breath and began to speak. She told the council about human creativity and teamwork. She explained how Earth used simple ideas to beat the Zarkons' big weapons. As she talked, the council members looked interested. Some nodded their heads. Others whispered to each other. Hyjin hoped she was doing a good job. When she finished, Zorn spoke again. "Impressive," it said. "But now the galaxy is changing because of you. Some races are scared of humans. Others want to be your friends. What do you say to this?" Hyjin thought carefully before answering. "We don't want anyone to be scared of us," she said. "We want to learn and grow. We hope to make friends and trade with other races, but we will also protect ourselves if we need to." The council talked among themselves for a long time. Finally, Zorn turned back to Hyjin. "We have decided," it said. "Humans may join the galactic community, but watch yourselves carefully. Great power brings great responsibility." Hyjin felt both happy and worried. Humans were now part of something much bigger than Earth. It was exciting, but also a bit scary. As Hyjin and her team were leaving, a group of friendly-looking aliens approached them. They were the Mektar, a race known for their love of science and exploration. The Mektar leader, a bubbly blob named Glix, bounced up to Hyjin. "We heard your story," it bubbled. "It's so exciting. We'd love to be friends with humans. Maybe we could trade ideas." Hyjin smiled. "We'd like that very much," she said. She could see Captain Ji-hun grinning too. Making new friends in space was what they had hoped for. But not everyone was happy about humans joining the galactic community. Far away, on a dark planet, another alien race watched and listened. They were the Dravenks, a warlike people who loved to fight. The Dravenks leader, a scary-looking creature named Kraz, growled to its soldiers. "These humans sound dangerous," it said. "If they could beat the Zarkons, they might be fun to fight. We should test them." Back on the human ship, as they flew home to Earth, Hyjin, Ji-hun, and Min-seo talked about what happened. They were excited about meeting the Mektar and other friendly aliens, but they also knew they had to be careful. "The galaxy is a big place," Min-seo said. "There's so much to learn." Ji-hun nodded. "And so many new challenges. We need to be ready for anything." Hyjin looked out at the stars. "You're both right," she said. "This is just the beginning of our story in space. I hope we can show the galaxy the best of what humans can do." As Earth came into view, the 3 friends felt proud and hopeful. Humans had taken their first big steps into the galaxy. Now they had to show everyone that they were not just strong, but also kind and wise. The ripples of Earth's victory over the Zarkons were spreading across the stars. The universe was changing, and humans were at the center of it all. What would happen next? Only time would tell. 6 months after Earth joined the galactic community, things were busy. Spaceships from many alien races visited Earth. Humans were excited to learn about new cultures and technologies. President Jae-hoon was getting ready for a big event. The Galactic Summit was happening, and Earth was hosting it. Leaders from all over the galaxy would come to talk about important space matters. "Are we ready for this?" Jae-hoon asked his team. Ambassador Hae-jin nodded. "We've worked hard," she said. "It's time to show the galaxy what Earth can do." As alien ships arrived, humans watched in awe. There were ships that looked like giant bubbles, others that spun like tops, and some that changed colors. The summit started with a grand dinner. Jae-hoon welcomed everyone. "We're happy to have you on Earth," he said. "Let's work together for a better galaxy." Many aliens were curious about Earth food. Some loved it, while others found it strange. A Mektar tried ice cream for the first time and got very excited. Cold but sweet, it bubbled happily. The next day, serious talks began. Jae-hoon and Hae-jin listened carefully as aliens discussed trade routes, space laws, and how to handle conflicts between planets. When it was Earth's turn to speak, Jae-hoon stood up. He talked about how humans wanted to help make the galaxy peaceful. "We may be new here," he said, "but we're quick learners and hard workers." Some aliens nodded in agreement. Others looked unsure. The Dravinx leader, Kraz, growled softly. It still thought humans might be good to fight. Then something unexpected happened. Dr. Min Seo asked to speak. She had a big announcement. "We've made a new discovery," she said. "It could help solve the galaxy's energy problems." The room got very quiet. Energy was a big issue for many planets. Min Seo explained how Earth scientists found a way to make lots of clean energy using simple materials. Aliens started talking excitedly. Many wanted to know more. Even Kraz looked interested. Jae-hoon smiled proudly at Min Seo. This was a big moment for Earth. During a break, Captain Ji-hun was showing some aliens Earth's new spaceships. A young Zarkon was there. It was Vex, who had watched humans escape during the war. "Your ships are different now," Vex said. Ji-hun nodded. "We learned a lot from our first space battles, but we hope to use these ships for peace, not war." Vex thought about this. "Maybe Zarkons can learn from humans too," it said quietly. As the summit went on, Earth made many new friends. The Mektar wanted to start a big science project with humans. Other aliens asked to send their young ones to Earth to study. But not everything was easy. Some aliens still didn't trust humans. They remembered how Earth beat the Zarkons and were scared. Hae-jin worked hard to show them that humans wanted peace. One night, Jae-hoon, Hae-jin, and Min Seo talked about how things were going. "We're doing well," Hae-jin said, "but we need to be careful. Some aliens think we're growing too fast." Min Seo agreed. "Our new energy could change a lot in the galaxy. We need to share it wisely." Jae-hoon nodded. "You're both right. We have a big responsibility now. We must show the galaxy that humans can be both strong and kind." On the last day of the summit, something amazing happened. Earth was invited to join the Galactic Council. It was a great honor. Humans would help make big decisions for the whole galaxy. As Jae-hoon accepted the invitation, he felt proud and nervous. Earth had come so far in such a short time. Now, humans would play a big part in shaping the future of space. The summit ended with a beautiful light show. Ships from all planets flew together in the sky, making pretty patterns. It was a sign of hope for the future. As the alien ships left Earth, Jae-hoon and his team watched. They knew this was just the beginning. Humans were now part of something much bigger than their own world. "What do you think will happen next?" Jae-hoon asked. Hae-jin smiled. "I don't know," she said, "but I'm sure it will be an adventure, and humans are good at adventures." They all laughed and looked up at the stars. The galaxy was waiting, full of new friends, new challenges, and new chances to show what humans could do. 5 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. The galaxy had changed a lot, and humans were a big part of that change. Admiral Ji-hun, once a captain, now led a fleet of ships, but these weren't warships. They were peacekeepers, helping to solve problems between different alien races. One day, Ji-hun's team got a call. Two alien groups were fighting over a small planet. Both said the planet was theirs. Ji-hun's job was to stop the fight and help them talk. As they flew to the planet, Ji-hun thought about how far humans had come. "We used to worry about countries on Earth fighting," he said to his crew. "Now we help solve problems across the whole galaxy." When they reached the planet, Ji-hun saw ships from both alien groups. They looked ready to fight. Ji-hun sent them a message. "This is Admiral Ji-hun from Earth. We're here to help. Let's talk before anyone gets hurt." At first, the aliens didn't want to listen, but they knew about humans and how they had beaten the Zarkons. They decided to hear what Ji-hun had to say. Ji-hun invited leaders from both groups onto his ship. He listened to their stories. One group said they found the planet first. The other said they needed it more. "I understand both sides," Ji-hun said, "but fighting won't solve anything. Let's find a way you can both use the planet." It wasn't easy, but after many hours of talking, they found an answer. The two groups would share the planet. Ji-hun helped them write a peace agreement. As the alien ships left, one of the leaders thanked Ji-hun. "We've heard humans are good at solving hard problems," it said. "Now we see it's true." Meanwhile, back on Earth, big changes were happening. The Galactic University had just opened. It was a place where humans and aliens could study together. Dr. Min Seo, now the head of the university, welcomed the first group of students. There were young aliens from all over the galaxy. Some had tentacles, others had wings, and a few were made of crystal. "Welcome to Earth," Min Seo said. "Here, we'll learn from each other and build a better future for all." One of the alien students raised a hand. "Dr. Min Seo," it asked, "is it true that humans went from having no spaceships to joining the Galactic Council in just a few years?" Min Seo smiled. "Yes, it's true. We had a lot to learn, and we still do. That's why this university is so important." In another part of the galaxy, Ambassador Hai-Jin was meeting with the Zarkons. Things had changed a lot since the war. Many Zarkons now wanted to be friends with humans. Vex, once a young Zarkon who watched humans escape, was now a leader. It greeted Hai-Jin warmly. "We've learned much from humans," Vex said. "Your way of thinking has helped us grow." Hai-Jin was happy to hear this. "We've learned from you too," she said. "When different people work together, everyone gets better." They signed a new agreement. Zarkons and humans would work together on big space projects. It was a day no one could have imagined years ago. As Hai-Jin's ship flew home, she thought about how much had changed. Humans were now known across the galaxy. Some aliens liked them. Some were still scared of them, but everyone respected them. Back on Earth, President Jae-hoon was giving a speech. People from all over the world were listening. So were many aliens watching from their home planets. 5 years ago, the galaxy learned humans were a force to be reckoned with, Jae-hoon said. Today, they're learning we're also friends to be valued. We show them we can be strong and kind at the same time. He looked up at the sky, now full of ships from many worlds. We've come so far, but our journey is just beginning. The universe is vast, full of wonders and challenges. As we explore it, let's remember what makes us special, our creativity, our teamwork, and our big hearts. As the speech ended, cheers rose up from Earth and from ships in space. A new era had truly dawned. Humans had found their place among the stars, not just as a species to be feared, but as one to be admired and trusted. The universe watched and wondered, what would these amazing humans do next?